What's up everybody, it's Coach Dragon from Strong Dragon Training, and today I'm back with another instructional video. And I've wanted to cover this video for a long time now, and I apologize for putting it out so late, but it's the Arnold presses, the two different versions of the Arnold press that are out there. So as you saw in the previous little clip, I've done one of the Arnold presses starting at the front, opening wide and coming up almost like you're doing a J motion, so to say, right? Now, to begin from the get-go, this is a shoulder exercise. So you're working your shoulder all around from front delt, mid delt, and posterior delt, right? So all of the muscles work together in the shoulder, and of course now you're working deep too, right into the actual joint with all the ligaments trying to open and stabilize this shoulder. Now it's worth mentioning that this is not an exercise where you're going to go super heavy. It's an exercise where you keep your pace, keep a nice full concentration on the movement, and as you go through, you press in and you focus right deep into the shoulder. Your goal is to strengthen not only the muscle and form a nice little cap on the shoulder, but to actually tighten up and strengthen the deep ligaments and tendons of the actual shoulder joint itself. So what you're looking for in version number one, which again I'm going to repeat, starting at the bottom, opening up wide, and at the top, I'm going to take a few steps back here so you can see me. At the top, the hands have the palms facing forward. Now, don't stop with the hammer press or a hammer grip, as I like to call it. Do the full twist. That full twist is going to get a little bit of extra squeeze when it comes to the anterior deltoid when you're at the top. So what you're looking for is, first and foremost, at the bottom, you gotta have them nice and deep, right in front of the chest. If you go too high up, you're missing the most important part, and that's stretching the delt heads, right? Now you're nice and low, you have a little bit of weight pushing down, you're resisting it, but you're also getting a little bit of a stretch right in the deltoid, stretching them out, and now you're starting to engage them as you press it up. So, breathe out. Breathe in as you come back down, right? And remember, the weight doesn't have to be super killer on this one, right? It's not the same as when you're doing a regular shoulder press. You don't have that kind of one-dimensional movement. Now you're going into all these different directions to move and everything, and there's a lot of tension, a lot of demand on the joint itself, right? You go too heavy and you risk pulling, straining some of the little ligaments and tendons in there. So you gotta be very careful. Version number two, you're starting right at the front as you saw, and now I'm going up straight and coming back down. So let me take a step back over here so you see it. I'm starting with my fist, with my palm facing me, and at the top, I'm facing the front, right? So notice how close I'm fighting to keep my elbow in. I'm not allowing it to do this or whatever. That actually throws me off to even try to push the elbow out. But some people that are not used to the movement and the exercise, they will push the elbow out, and that's completely not what you're looking for in that exercise. You want to keep it nice and together. Now for this one, some people like it more. I've trained people over the years and I taught them how to do both techniques. Some people like version number two, nice and tight, which again, you get the stretch of the deltoids, you get the actual torque as you're going up because you're actually requesting the full, twist of the forearm and now into the shoulder going out. But here's the little bit of a change here. You're not doing that kind of an opening motion. You're not putting that strain on the ligament, on the rear deltoid, on the tendons and everything within the shoulder joint, right? Now you're just going up and down. It's a lot less motion on the actual shoulder joint itself, and then there's a lot less work on the ligaments, the tendons. Of course, they're still working, don't get me wrong on that. But even if for the average person looking at this, you can tell a motion this wide versus a motion this wide, right? This is almost like doing hammer presses on one plane, but you're adding that extra little bit of a twist to strain and challenge, rather, that's what I'm looking for, challenge the deltoids a little bit more like the anterior, the mid deltoid, and a very little bit on the posterior one, because always remember the deltoids work in unity, and it's all these different percentages they work on depending on the plane and direction that you're going to, right? But on this one, when you're staying straight and just pushing up, you're working mostly on that anterior, mid is a little bit in there, posterior, it's kind of there, it's helping of course, but it's not as much as now when I'm doing this. I'm actually requiring that rear delt to pull me out, stabilize me, and now the mid deltoid is coming up and pushing all the way up. So you can tell probably from this video that my personal favorite one is the classic wide opening Arnold type of press, right? This one is a little bit more of an aftermarket one. Again, effective, good for your shoulder, good for your shoulder joint, but I always try to encourage and see if there's a good position or a good chance rather to get the client, the person, whomever I'm dealing with, to do the nice and wide one. I like it better, but again, if my client, whomever I'm helping, says, you know what, I feel these ones so much better, or there's a shoulder injury, first and foremost, you gotta always be careful what kind of a shoulder injury you have. If it's a ligament, if it's a tendon, if it's a muscle, you gotta be very careful, very aware of your body, because remember, these motions, both of them, they require a lot out of your shoulder, especially a lot of your shoulder joint. So if you have any kind of injuries, if you had a broken shoulder years in the past, or dislocated shoulder, things like that, you gotta be very, very careful with these movements, because as good as they are, as amazing as they can be for your muscle, they can be very, very detrimental to an old injury. And now you're coming up with, there's gonna be pain in there, there's gonna be discomfort, you're gonna start hating the gym, hating exercise, hating your personal trainer, and you're just going to stop going to the gym altogether. So please be very careful if you do try this at home, guys. If you try it, it's an amazing exercise to do pretty much everywhere. Now, unfortunately, with this one, you do require a pair of dumbbells, right? Or if you're at home, if you're stuck at home, you can't or don't wish to go to the gym, you can do the same idea with some water bottles, some heavier water bottles, maybe some smaller bags of flour that you can grip on. It's all a matter of getting really creative of what you can do at home. If you guys have seen some of my really old videos when this whole COVID-19 pandemic started, I was trying to give you guys ideas of different things you can use just around the house to be able to do exercises like shoulder presses, bicep curls, things like that require dumbbells. And this is one of the exercises that is very particular in the fact that you need to have a weight in each hand in order to be able to do this movement. So like I said, you don't have dumbbells in your house, a pair of water bottles, a pair of bag of flowers, or maybe some heavier jars, depending on your fitness level, of course. And if your fitness level is very high, you're much stronger, well then, let's invest in some dumbbells, guys. Why not? But yes, please try them out, guys. Please see how they work for you. If you haven't tried them before, drop me a comment below. Let me know how you felt, what you felt exactly in the shoulder, and which one of the two did you like the best. Was it the classic wide opening version of the Arnold Press, or was it the tighter, more compact version of it? I would really love to hear from you guys. And if you're not sure how to do it, if you have questions, you're a little bit iffy on doing it or not, drop me a question, drop me a comment. I answer within 24 hours. I'll be more than happy to reach out and say, hey, you know what, let's dissect this exercise even a little bit more. My name is Coach Dragos from Strong Dragon Training. Thank you so much for watching. Hit like and subscribe. I'll catch you on my next video.